This is Patrick Thatcher for the Daily Press. Welcome to this edition of Your Money. We are here at the Mojave Barber College with registered investment advisor Jose Palafox to talk with students about money management and investments. According to the owner of the Mojave Barber College, David Barnicoat, 86% of barbers stay in the business at least 26 years. After their first 5 years, Barnicoat says a barber's annual income should be in the ballpark of $50,000 to $100,000. So how do they invest their money?
Good morning, everyone. My name is Jose Palafox. I'm with Starfox Financial Services here at the Mojave Barber College this morning. And we're going to take some time this morning to answer some questions for some young barbers that are starting their career. And hopefully we can get them in the right direction when it comes to saving for retirement. First, by a show of hands, how many of you guys want to retire rich? Everyone, right? Now, next question would be do you know how to retire rich? Anybody? You have any classes in high school to show you how to save for retirement? No? Yes? Some? Elliot, we talked a little earlier and you asked me kind of what the secret was to becoming wealthy and how to invest. I'll tell you, first of all, the very first thing that you must remember, if you don't remember anything else today, remember this. Plan one is you have to save 10% of your money that you make. If you can do that over time, that will create wealth once you start investing. But you can't invest if you don't have the savings. And you can make $1 million a year, you can make $1,000 a year, but if you don't save, it don't matter. Because when you come to retirement, you won't have that money there. So one of the things I wanted to talk about today is how do you go about saving? What's the first step? Have you ever heard the term pay yourself first? Do you know what that means?
Yeah, pay yourself before you pay everybody else.
That's right. If you make $1,000 a week, if you make $500 a week, if you make $100 a week, write yourself that $10 for $100 or 10% of $500 would be $50 and put that into a bank or checking account or savings account, start saving some money. Now, one of the things that everybody wants to do is they immediately want to start buying houses or stocks or things like that. But the very first thing you need to do is that you must understand is you must have some savings in case of emergencies, right? Don't we all have them? Whether you have a car accident or something you didn't expect in your life happen, or you need to help out your brother or your sister. There's always emergencies in our life, and you must have 2 or 3 months savings put aside just for that. Before you start doing anything else in your life, if you can do that, that'll help you along many, many years. What happens with most people is they don't have any savings at all. They might even have some investments. An emergency happens, and what happens to all that money? It's gone, right? You have to use it. So the key is to make sure you start saving today. Now, how old are you? 32?
26.
26. 16. 16. Wonderful. 23. Well, let me give you a little questionnaire here. If you start saving, can everybody think they can save $100 a month? Could you save $100 a month from what you're going to make? Now, I understand that after about 5 years, the average barber makes about $50,000 a year. Is that right? So you think you can probably save $100 a month, right? If you start when you're 25, and I think everybody but yourself is 25 at least, right? And you saved $100 a month, and your rate of return was, say, 9%. The stock market's returned about 10% for the last 60 years. How much money do you think you'd have saved up by the time you're 65?
Couple hundred thousand.
Couple hundred thousand, not a bad guess. $471,000 on $100 a month. Now, if you double that, you'd be close to $1 million, right? And one of the things that you have to do, now I know you're a little anxious because you kind of didn't even want to be part of this, right, a little bit? But I'm telling you right now, the most important thing that you'll ever learn is if you can learn these next 2 minutes, it'll be worth millions of dollars in your life. And that is put some money away, save it, invest it properly, which we can discuss at a later time. But saving, saving, saving. It's not what you make, it's what you keep. And in the old days, and I mean by the old days, our parents, my grandparents, they were brought up to save. You know, if you want to buy a car, you got to save up $5,000 or $6,000 because that's how much a car was. Nowadays, we go out and we finance it, right? $500 a month, no problem. Except for you just spent $30,000 on a car. She's shaking her head. You did that?
Yeah.
Yeah. So what happens is you start using all your income to get all your things, and you forget that someday we're going to be old and somebody's got to take care of us, right?
Or work might be slow.
Or work might be slow, that's right. What happens if you're out of a job for a little while? Right? All these things, that's an emergency, isn't it? That would be considered an emergency. So one of the things that you asked before is my answer to you is you've got to learn to save first. All of my clients that are super wealthy, the one thing they have in common, and it don't matter if they worked at Home Depot, it don't matter if they were engineers, it don't matter if they were barbers. The one thing they all had in common is they saved. And then the second thing they did is invested that savings. So that's why today, if you can get this in your head for the next 40 or 50 years to learn how to save, and even because at 18 years old, people told me to do that, I said, that's okay, I don't need to save. I need a new car. I need a new Honda Interceptor. That's what I need. I don't need to save. Well, today, let me tell you, if I had saved at that time, I could probably be close to retirement myself. So that's what I'm trying to tell you. The secret is save and then invest as much as you can when you can. How are we doing?
That's great.
Good?